What's up, guys? We are back with another episode. I got my box of tissues right here because I have a lot of issues. If you're watching, you're seeing just me today. No Jeremy because we tried to record at Yacht Club the other day. Was that Monday? And when I went to go edit this, the audio was unusable. And then we didn't have aligning schedules this time around, so kind of just doing a little solo episode. Um, Basically, probably going to talk a lot about HHN, and I got a couple stories that I wanted to tell. So yeah, we're doing a little solo episode today. I am running the TikTok live to kind of help with the filler and the pauses. So want to tell a brief story because I told this on the podcast and I record with Jeremy, but like I said, the audio is just unusable. So I was going to Universal. This was Saturday, so a couple of days ago, and I went in the evening, so it was a little bit busy. And I was like pulling into the parking garage. The lady in front of me was parking first, how they had us going. And we had to pull in to the right to actually park. And she was just struggling to fit her SUV in this parking spot. So she was like inching forward. And then there's like a line forming behind me because it's Saturday night. It's getting like really busy. So I went and I pulled in around her into my spot, got into my spot fine. And I'm like sitting in my car, like gathering my things, unplugging my phone from the charger, whatnot. And all I hear is this loud boom. And I look over and I see her door made contact with my vehicle. Now, I don't drive the nicest car. However, you're not just going to do that and not like me get out and look at it. So I get out of the car and she's like looking at me. And I immediately ask, is it damaged? And she goes, no. And I walk over there and I go to check it out and I see a mark, whether or not it was a mark from her door, I'm not entirely sure. And I'm like looking at it, I'm like rubbing it with my finger, seeing if it's coming off. And she's like, it wasn't even that. It wasn't even that door. She was trying to blame it on the rear driver's side door, the door behind her, because she was in the driver's seat. She's like, it was my daughter. My daughter opened the door. It wasn't up that far. It wasn't from that. So first of all, this lady is lying about hitting her car door into my car. And then second, she didn't even apologize for doing it. What's up, Haley? So this lady dings my car with her door, doesn't apologize, is blaming it on someone else now. And then I was just like, okay, whatever. I walk back over to like my driver's side door. I was kind of like fiddling around because apparently this lady had like 15 people in her party. So all these like people are standing at the back of her car, which is right next to mine, and they're all like staring at me, looking at me. Some of them are like laughing and making jokes, and I'm kind of just like standing there moseying around because I'm waiting for them to leave so I can go look at it again. And they're not leaving either. So we're kind of just like at a standstill. I'm looking at them, they're looking at me. There's like 15 people. I purposely take my time just so they can leave and I can check it out. And then I was also afraid that they were going to do something to my car again for whatever reason. That's just the way I like get into my own head. Eventually they leave. I go check it out. I don't know if there's really any damage to my car or not. I don't know if the mark that I was looking at in the beginning was the same one. Anyway, I end up getting back into my car and I moved my car farther down in the parking garage because I was scared, or I was like worried that they were going to come back and do something else. So that irritated the hell out of me. If you know me, you know I was heated. I was very worked up about that, and it took me a second to calm down because if this lady would have just apologized, I would have let it go because I mean, my car's paid off. It's kind of old. I wasn't upset about her hitting my car. I was more upset about her lying about it, saying that it wasn't her, and then not even apologizing. If she would have just apologized and said sorry, I would have looked the other way and been like, oh, things happen. No, didn't even apologize in the parking garage. That ticked me off. So my blood was boiling as I was walking into the park. But yeah, that happened on Saturday. People drive in these parking garages, and if you go to Disney, people drive like freaking maniacs, dude. People need to slow down in the garages and in the parking garages. It's not a big deal, especially if you're like just going to a theme park. Driving like a maniac does nothing but put people at risk and set yourself up for having a bad day. Because if you get hit in the parking lot, guess what? You're not going in the park for at least an hour or two till the cops come. You get insurance stuff situated. So if you're driving your car to Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, wherever, don't drive like a maniac in the parking garages. Okay, it's annoying. Also, something that really irritates me in the parking garages or in the parking lots is when people pass me. If I'm driving forward to the next available lane, like where they have people directing cars into that lane, and if you pass me to get like one or two cars ahead of me, it's so irritating. You're passing me to get two cars ahead, and most of the time when you're doing this, you're gonna park farther away. The way that they send cars down in these lanes, you're going to park farther away if you pass someone in the parking garages or in the parking lots. You're going to park farther away from the entrance because they start the farthest way down and then make their way towards the front. So if you want to pass me, I guess it's not that big a deal because I'm just only going to park closer. And you're getting in 10 seconds ahead of me. Congratulations. Congratulations. So that irritates me. Just people just have no patience, and it's like I'm trying to park my car too, and you think getting two or three cars ahead is making a big difference. Listen, it's not. It's really not. So that irritates me a whole bunch. Just don't drive like stupid maniacs, dude. I agree, Fizz. Yes, it is a good PSA. Don't drive like a maniac. Okay, Bill. Okay, Bill. Natty champs. Natty champs. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Natty champs, big dog. Okay. That was just a little story that I had the other day about getting my car dinged. Yeah, it was annoying, and that ticked me off. I was pretty heated about that one. Let's see. Opening my. But yeah, Jeremy and I tried to record at Yacht Club the other day, and like I said, in the beginning, when I went to go check out the audio the next day and edit it, it was unusable. It was such poor quality. I wasn't going to release it to anyone. I didn't want the quality attached to Coasters and Bro-Sters podcast. Yeah, we were outside at the Yacht Club, and it just didn't work out. So here we are. I'm recording a little solo episode. If you're in the TikTok chat, Bill is actually going to be our guest for our next episode, which should be coming out probably hopefully Monday. So very excited to have Bill on. Yeah, I don't know. There was bad weather coming, so we just kind of hunkered down underneath like a little outside patio thing, and then we kind of just started recording. Daniel, yes, wear sunscreen to the beach. Absolutely. Okay, next I want to talk about Halloween Horror Nights since we're like 3 weeks away from HHN. I figured I would go through my house rankings, just talk about those, and then we can talk about the current state of the park just because I've been there so much. And we can kind of just talk about how this is all taking shape. So, hey, Michelle, thank you so much for the heart me. Yes. All right, let me get my rankings up 1 second here. Yeah, the park is coming along quite nicely, though. Just about every scare zone now has set pieces. What's up, everyone? Fan, what's up? So the set pieces are coming along great for the scare zones. There are... Oh, shoot. Did I pass it? There are set pieces. Well, I guess the biggest scare zone right now that's the furthest along is the Cat Lady on Crooked Lane. So essentially, and they released the story plot for this scare zone as well. So essentially, it's Halloween night. There are kids trick-or-treating, and they drink the Cat Lady's potion, who turns them into like cat, human, child mutants. And it's going to be so cool. They have like big giant storybook pages set up in that scare zone. You can kind of read them. It's really cool. I made a video on it on my TikTok, Theme Parker. Go check her out. Oh, here it is. Okay. The next scare zone that has a lot in it is Toxic 20s. So the storyline behind that one is mobsters are getting chased by the police, and they run into like a tractor trailer pulling toxic chemicals, and it turns them into monsters and zombies. So that scare zone started taking shape yesterday. I went there and I kind of saw some of the first set pieces. It looks really good. Disney is changing the decor over August 15th. Are they changing it at the same time too? Universal's been setting up Halloween stuff the past couple of weeks, so Universal's been on it. Isn't the first day for Mickey's Not So Scary on August 15th? Anyway, I'm going to read you my full entire house ranking list. This is not official yet. And then we can kind of just talk about them. So 10 is going to be Wyatt 6. 9 is Jason. 8 is Five Nights at Freddy's. 7 is Gulkin. 6 is Grave of Flesh. 5 is El Artista. 4 is Terrifier. 3 is Hatchet and Change. 3 is Dolls. And 1 is Fallout. So let's talk about it 10 to 1. So I put Wyatt 6 at 10 because, thank you, fan for the heart me. Appreciate that. I put Wyatt 6 at 10 because I don't watch WWE. I've never watched WWE. I don't know anything about these guys. I don't know anything about the Wyatt 6 gang. So that's why I put it at number 10. I know WWE people have already bought up all the shirts there. I haven't seen the Wyatt 6 shirt at the Five and Dime store since this house has been released. So I think this is going to be a pretty popular house. I do think like the HHN and the WWE crowd kind of overlap and they kind of go hand in hand. However, I don't watch WWE. I don't know anything about Wyatt 6. So for that reason, I put it at number 10. Next at number 9, I put Jason Universe. Listen, I know Jason is really big in the horror movie cinema fandom. However, I never got really into Jason. I'm not a huge movie guy in the first place. I don't watch a lot of movies. I really don't watch a lot of horror movies. So I just don't know much about Jason. I never really got into his movies. I know there's like a million of them, right? Like they've made so many different Jason movies. I never got into them. I never watched them. So I put it at number 9. I've seen it higher on some lists. If you're a horror movie fan, you probably have it a lot higher. I never watched them. I never did. So, for that reason, number 9. I feel like I'm on Shark Tank. And for that reason, 8, Five Nights at Freddy. Pretty similar reason to Jason and Wyatt 6. I just don't know anything about it. I know Jason is classic. Yeah, I know. I just never got into it. Same for Five Nights at Freddy's. I never played the game. I never watched the movie. I don't know anything about Five Nights at Freddy's besides it's like a pizza place and these animatronics come to life. I've been telling myself I'm going to watch the movie. I just haven't done it yet. I've heard the movie's really bad. Thank you for the TikTok fam. I've never watched the movie. But like I said, I've heard it's bad. Will I watch it? Yes. When? I don't know. Before August 29th, I plan to watch it. I don't know really anything about it at the moment. So for that reason, Five Nights at Freddy's, sitting at number 7. At number 8, sorry. 7, I put Gulkin House, Monsters of the North. So essentially, let me pull up Universal's website too so I can read some of these descriptions off, especially for the original houses, because HHN houses, just so we can kind of have a better description of what these are. And then I'll just switch back and forth. If you guys have any questions in the chat about HHN, definitely feel welcome to drop anything. I'm just pulling up these descriptions so I can read the original houses. Okie dokie, artichoke. My Wi-Fi is being slow, or my computer's being slow. All right. Gulkin House, Monsters of the North. 10 terrifying haunted houses. Is anyone going to HHN for the first time in the TikTok chat? I know it's not the typical theme park live stream, but the weather here is supposed to be not great this evening, so yeah, that's why I didn't go to the parks, just because the weather is supposed to be bad. I was at the parks last night. Crazy thunderstorms. Crazy thunderstorms. Some of the loudest thunder I've ever heard. Okay. Gulkin, Monsters of the North, call forth a legion of terrors. In a remote northern village, a wicked being rises from the dead, bringing a horde of monsters and demons from the fords to wreak havoc on the townspeople. Try to escape the belly of the beast. I think this house has a lot of potential. I've seen this house pretty high on a lot of people's lists. However, I just don't know how I feel about a wicked being rising from the dead. And then it's attacking villages and townspeople. I don't know. I think it has potential. I just think I need to see this with my own eyes first. And I just can't imagine really what this house is going to be like just from reading the descriptions. I put it at number 7. I think this might actually end up a little bit higher. The original houses, for the most part, are always pretty solid, except last year I wasn't really a big fan of goblins. I wasn't a big fan of the candy house. I think those two are kind of weak, but I think all the original houses are great. And let me say this. I think every house is going to be good. I'm not saying any house on here is going to be bad. I'm excited for every house. I'm just more excited about others. And Gulkin, I'm just not super excited about. And I just don't have a big, like vision for this in my mind. Like sometimes I can read these house names and be like, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. This is not one of them. All right. So I put Gulkin at 7. 6, I put Grave of Flesh. I have seen this below on a lot of people's lists. I think it has a good storyline. I just think the potential for it to be kind of lower on my list is there. So here's the description. Grave of Flesh, your dead meat. Welcome to your funeral where things are about to go from bad to worse. You'll enter your grave and then the underworld where flesh eaters who feed on the dead will hunt you for all eternity. Eternity. So essentially, this one, you are entering your grave and then you have to deal with monsters and flesh eaters of the underworld. I think it sounds cool. I like the artwork for this one a lot. Some people aren't getting behind the hype, though. I see this very low on a lot of hype lists. I think this has good potential. I will say that. I do think it has good potential. But I don't think it's as exciting as my top 5. But I think Grave of Flesh has opportunity, and I think it does have potential. I can kind of see what this is going to be like. So I'm excited for Grave of Flesh. Definitely. But it sits at number 6. What is that noise? What is that? Okay. Hopefully you guys didn't hear that. All right. My number 5 is El Artista, A Spanish Haunting. Okay, this one is cool to me. El Artista, A Spanish Haunting, Maestros. Oh my God, my Spanish. Don't heckle me on this. Maestros de Arte y del Terror. In 19th century Spain, a tortured artist moves to an isolated country manor to seek inspiration. Instead, the art comes alive and possesses him. You're about to be part of the permanent exhibition. Okay, so this is cool. I can kind of see what this is going to be like. We're going to walk in to like a big facade of a house. We're going to walk through the front door, and immediately we're going to see like paintings on the wall. We're going to see people jumping out. I think we are actually going to see someone portraying an artist who is screaming, getting attacked by monsters and stuff. So this one's going to be pretty cool. I can kind of already see a vision for this one. I think they're going to have us walking into a big giant house, and then paintings are going to come alive. We're going to see stuff like art come alive. And this, I think this is going to be a pretty cool house. This definitely made my top 5. This kind of is giving, like, for some reason, I keep thinking of like Dark Moon from 2023 or Blood Moon from 2023 because that house was crazy. Or what was El Chupacabra? So I'm kind of getting like vibes from both of those too. So I think El Artista is going to be really, really cool. Okay, my number 4, I believe, is Terrifier. So this house, we have reports from HHN execs and stuff that this is going to be the goriest haunted house Universal has ever created. And I think that says a lot. This is going to be the goriest house we've ever seen at HHN. And there's going to be a wet and a dry path. And the wet path is going to be so wet, you're going to need a poncho for. So here's the description for the Terrifier house. The Terrifier isn't clowning around. Get it? Try your luck against Art the Clown in the Terrifier Funhouse. You'll witness his grotesque handiwork of torture and be exposed to the spatter of his victims. It's a whole new level. It's a whole new level of gore. So this house is going to be crazy. I think this has potential to be House of the Year, honestly. There's a lot of hype around it, and for good reason. The wet and dry path is crazy. It's actually crazy. A wet path in a haunted house is wild. I'm very excited for it though. So it's at number 4. This house is going to be crazy. It's going to be super scary. It's going to be gory. We're going to see blood, guts, and all types of crazy stuff in this house. So it's going to be good. I think it's going to be really good. For me, it sits at 4 because I didn't really care for the Terrifier movie that much. And I say movie because I only watched the first one and I barely got through the first one. I watched the first one. I had to watch it over 2 days. And I said, nope, I know enough just from watching the first one to understand what the rest of them are going to be. And I have no desire to watch any of the other movies. I really don't. I have no desire to watch any other of the Terrifier movies just because the first one was enough. I get it. I understand what the other ones are going to be about. And you know what? That's fine. That's fine. Number 3, I put Hatchet and Chains. So let's read the description on this one. Hatchet and Chains Demon Bounty Hunters is the full name. They're the outlaws from hell in this old west town. All hell is breaking loose. Red hot lava demons are trying to possess everyone, melting everything in their path. Your only hope, Hatchet and Chains with their mystical weapons. So Hatchet and Chains are demon bounty hunters, and we got a glimpse of what this house might look like from Slaughter Cinema 2 last year. One of the sections of the house was actually Hatchet and Chains. It was like the movie trailer house. So we are going to see red hot lava demons trying to possess everyone. And then we're going to get saved by Hatchet and Chains, the demon bounty hunters. This section of the house last year was really, really cool. Slaughter Cinema was, I'm pretty sure, my number 1 house last year. So I think just from that little sneak peek preview that we got last year that this house is going to be really good. I like the storyline a lot. Demon bounty hunters, like I think that sounds pretty cool. So yeah, I'm excited for this house. Sits at number 3 for me because of number 2 and number 1. 2, I put Dolls. Now, I haven't seen Dolls pretty high on many people's lists. I think I have it higher than any list I've ever seen. Hey, Gamble, what's up, man? Appreciate the heart me fam plus. Thank you for the heart me. Dolls, I think it's at my number 2. People don't have it very high. A lot of people think it's going to be cheesy. I think it could be cheesy. I also think it could be really fun, and I'm really excited for it. I get Major Sid from Toy Story vibes. Mia, what's up? Here in the Thai restaurant. I get Major Sid from Toy Story vibes. Let me read the description of this house. Dolls, let's play dead. Welcome to her toy box of terror. You're about to become doll-sized and witness the unnatural creations of a twisted little girl. You'll be hunted by burnt fashion dolls, toys she's melded together, and undead horrors in her dollhouse. Does that not sound creepy as hell to anyone else? We're gonna see mutated toys, melted together dolls. Like, did you watch that scene from Toy Story where you're underneath Sid's bed or you're in his bedroom and all these crazy looking toys that he has put together come and like try to like haunt you and like murder you? Like, I think this house is gonna be good. I'm hyped for it. This house gets me really hyped up. This is a really good OG house. Oh, okay, Mia. Oh God. So yeah, I have this at number 2. I think this house is going to be really good. I do think though it has potential to be kind of cheesy. If you kind of think back to the Triplets of Terror last year, this kind of could be similar. I wasn't the huge fan of that house last year. I think this could be similar, but if they do it right, this house is definitely going to be in a lot of people's, top 3s, top 5s. But my number 1, if you've been following along, is Fallout. I just recently watched Fallout, and it's a great show. I didn't play the game, but I watched the show on Amazon. It's a really good show. Yeah, definitely, Mia. Um, Fallout was a good show. If you haven't seen the show, essentially it's like 250 some years in the future, post nuclear war world. And the main character, they have a few main characters. Lucy is a vault dweller, so her family took shelter in the vault, which is underground, safe from the surface world. And they've been living in the vault for like 250 years. And then another main character is the ghoul, who is actually from the time that these nuclear bombs were dropped, and he survived throughout all this time, and he's trying to find his family, and their paths intertwine. There's another character, Moldaver, who is kind of in that mix as well. He's another main character. The show's really good. So let me read the description of this. I'm assuming we're going to be in a vault. I'm pretty sure the description says we're in a vault. Okay. Fallout, the vaults can't save you now. Face your fears in post-apocalyptic LA. Escape from the vaults to the wasteland and confront the formidable bounty hunter, the ghoul. So we're going to start in a vault. I think we're going to start in a vault. And then somehow we're going to get chased out. And then we're going to come face to face with the ghoul. The ghoul's the bounty hunter, by the way. Go watch the show. The show's good. It's like 8 or 9 episodes on Amazon Prime. They're about an hour to an hour and a half long each, but it's a really good show to well put together. I like the characters a lot in it, and the storyline, a lot of twists and turns. So I put this at number 1 because I enjoyed the show a lot, and I think being in a vault like this and then coming face to face with the ghoul is going to be crazy. I think this is going to be one of the fan favorites. Fallout and Five Nights at Freddy's, I think, are going to have the 2 longest lines consistently every night of Halloween Horror Nights. And I think Fallout is going to be a really good house. We saw the facade getting hung up a couple weeks ago, so this is going to be back in that far corner by Men in Black and Simpsons. I think we're going to enter through this house, through the house entrances in between that information desk and the Fear Factor Stadium. So I think the house entrance is going to be back there. What is up, Coco? So yeah, if you guys are excited for Halloween Horror Nights, definitely let me know. Leave us a comment on TikTok or on Spotify or whatever. Let us know what you're most excited for. We also got word they are doing the Lagoon show again. So they're bringing back the Halloween Horror Nights Lagoon show. They haven't done that in a few years. What's up, Angel? Haven't done that in a few years. I think that's going to be a really nice crowd drawer. I think they're thinking that this is going to pull away from the lines. Kevin, I guess you're right. I think Jason will be popular. I don't think it'll be as popular as Five Nights and as popular as Fallout. It'll definitely be popular because it's an IP. But I think Fallout and Five Nights are going to be the craziest ones. So the Lagoon show, I actually haven't seen a Horror Nights Lagoon show. So the first time I went to HHN was 2022, and I think they stopped it. I think the last year for the Lagoon show was 2021, if I'm not mistaken. So this is going to be a really nice way to keep crowds away from the houses in the scare zone. So that's a big plus. They're also doing a zombie car hop by Mel's Drive-In. So I'm not entirely sure what that's going to be yet. I think that's going to be really cool. I also think the live entertainment in San Francisco with the DJ that we're getting is going to be awesome as well. This is just a hobby, Cocoa Nuts. But if you guys want to listen to the full podcast, it's called Coasters and Bro-Sters. The link is in my bio. Go listen to it. This will be posted later tonight. And then, of course, follow me here on TikTok as well, Theme Parker. We do streams from the parks. I was going to go stream the parks tonight. The weather isn't supposed to be that great, and I've been caught in the rain the past couple of evenings and didn't want to be caught in the rain. So they're definitely going all out for Halloween Horror Nights this year. If you follow my TikToks, if you've been watching the streams, they're bringing back that scare zone in between the Minion attractions. So instead of kind of just that front section, they've actually extended this out in between the Minion attractions. So we're getting a scare zone there. That is the origins of horror. I am single. Yes. And then, of course, yes, Angel, they're bringing back the Death Eaters in Diagon Alley this year. So we got confirmation of that. So there's a lot going on this year. They're doing everything in their power to make this one of the best HHNs ever. Death Eaters are a big fan favorite. I love the Death Eaters. The Death Eaters go crazy. Yeah, Death Eaters go crazy. I love the Death Eaters. What's up, Mark? Appreciate that. So yeah, last year disappointed me. So yeah, last year I only went 2 nights last year. The houses weren't the greatest, but I think this year it's going to be really, really, really good. What's up, Mark? Um, yeah, so this HHN is going to be crazy. It's going to be fun. I'll be there opening night, opening weekend. I'm not doing the premium night, but I did get the ultimate frequent fear pass, so I'll be there up to 40 nights. There's only one weekend I know I'm not going to be able to make it because I have a wedding back home. Um, but yeah, that's going to be really fun. Ron, there's 48 Halloween Horror Nights nights. Starts April 29th, and I believe the last day is like November 3rd. I'm on their website. I can tell you. I can tell you in just a second. But yeah, starts August 29th. That's opening day. But if you have premiere night, it's August 28th. And then they're doing team member previews, I think, on that Tuesday, I heard. It's going to be fun, man. HHN is going to be so much fun. Rip Ride Rocket is set to close down August 17th. So if you haven't gotten all your rides in, be sure to do that before it closes. Halloween Horror Nights is August 29th to November 2nd. And you can do HHN on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So there's Monday and Tuesdays, they don't have HHN nights. Yeah, separate ticketed event. And then they're also doing Stay and Scream areas differently this year as well. So like in previous years, they've done those little holding areas like in New York, Central Park, San Francisco, and I think like Simpsons. This year, it's a little bit different. So starting at 3 o'clock, you can get a wristband from 3 locations in the park: Minion Cafe, Minion Blast, and then there's one more location. I think the Horror Makeup Show. You get a wristband starting at 3 o'clock, and that will allow you to stay in the park as it transitions from HHN to, or from studios to HHN, that little transition period. But instead of being in a holding area, you can get in line for the house. So you can actually enter the queue for the house instead of waiting in a little Stay and Scream area. So they changed that this year. So that's going to be huge. And a lot of these houses are actually going to open up sooner. So there's like 2 houses that are going to be opening up early, like 5:30 and 5:15. While the park doesn't actually open until like 6 o'clock for the other HHN guests waiting outside to get in. So Universal hasn't actually announced this yet. However, we've seen a bunch of leaks and announcements in like Facebook groups and stuff like that. So it is like 99% for sure that they're going to be doing it this way instead of Stay and Scream areas. So if you have an HHN ticket and you're already in the park that day, visit one of these places, get a wristband, and then they're going to let you enter the queue. Crowds this year are going to be absolutely insane. It is going to be so busy. So busy this year. Let me think. Is there anything else we need to talk about HHN related? If you want to see some set pieces, go check out my TikTok page. I've been trying to post updates as much as I can, but it's like every day there's something new, so it's like I can't even keep up with the updates. Let's see. Rip Ride Rocket, we can kind of transition into that. Last day to ride Rip Ride Rocket is August 17th, and then that will close August 18th. And they haven't announced the IP yet that is replacing that, although we do know it's going to be a coaster by Intamin. I thought signs were leading to Ghostbusters. Honestly, kind of turns out with it being an Intamin coaster, and Intamin built the coaster. Let me double check that. Let me double check who's building the coaster in Hollywood. I'm pretty sure it's Intamin. Who is, before I just start saying random stuff on here, who was building Fast and Furious coaster? And Furious coaster. All right. Okay, it's being built by Intamin. Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift is built by Intamin, roller coaster manufacturer. If you look at some of the permits and stuff Universal has filed and a work order that Intamin released, it's on the coaster that's replacing Rip Ride Rocket. So the coaster being built that's replacing Rip Ride Rocket is an Intamin coaster. The coaster being built in Hollywood, that's the Fast and Furious one, is also being built by Intamin. So, I mean, I don't think it's wrong to assume that it's going to be a Fast and Furious coaster. There are signs and Easter eggs reporting that it could be a Ghostbusters coaster, also possible. of a YouTube video I was watching today. I want to give a shout out to Theme Park Stop. If they close the current Fast and Furious ride, Supercharged, and then they build the Fast and Furious coaster, that could leave an empty show building for another Back to the Future dark ride, which could be sweet. It's better than your... Yes, absolutely. Fam. Yes. Just bought tickets for HHN. Awesome, Bobby. I will see you in the fog, my brother. Well, sister. So yeah, the coaster replacing Riptide Rocket, I think now might be a Fast and Furious coaster, just because Intamin is building the one in Hollywood. Then they also have a work order, and they're building the one here in Orlando. So yeah, if it is a Hollywood drift coaster like it's the one in Hollywood, I wouldn't be mad because that coaster looks incredible. It's going to be the fastest Universal coaster at 72 miles per hour. Crazy fast. The ride vehicles spin like a Guardians of the Galaxy type coaster. Would not be upset at all if it's something similar to that. So we'll see. We don't know yet, but that coaster is set to open up in 2026. And they're doing work in City Walk. The permits that Universal's filed with the city of Orlando, they're building a couple buildings, and they think that the load station is going to be kind of where that back half loop is by the Guggenheim Museum and Studios. So that's kind of be where you would load. So we'll see. We don't know. Oh, Mia, have you done Guardians? Not like intense spinning, but like a Guardians of the Galaxy coaster. It doesn't like spin, but the vehicles kind of like rotate with the way that you're, turning and stuff. Not like a spinning Storm Force Acceleratron coaster. So that's exciting. Lots of stuff coming to Universal. It's awesome. City Walk is all tore up and prepped for this new ride, so I'm very excited. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I'm excited for this new coaster coming. Do you get the express pass for the haunted houses? I don't because I'm going so much, but if you're only coming for a few nights, I would definitely recommend it. Yes, same, Bobby, same. All right. Well, guys, if you're listening to the podcast, we'll do our little outro. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow us on Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, and Apple Podcasts. Give us a follow on Instagram and TikTok. We're also on YouTube, so if you enjoy watching the video or the episodes, we are on YouTube, Coasters and Bro-Sters. Follow my personal Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, Theme Parker. I'm posting YouTube videos all the time now, so please go ahead and follow that. Go ahead, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and go watch all those videos. I appreciate it. We're trying to post once a week there. And our next episode here on Coasters and Bro-Sters will be with Bill Nye, the Disney guy, our second guest. So very excited for that episode. There'll be a lot of probably NFL talk on that episode because I know Bill's a big NFL fan, big Eagles fan, and then I myself am a NFL fan. So that episode will be really fun. Jeremy will be back on that one. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate it, and we will talk to you guys later. All right, TikTok. Thank you guys.